In this lesson, we'll learn how to connect to our instance through Windows 10. We have our Linux AC2 machine on AWS with a public IP address, and remember, there is a security group that allows us to communicate with this machine from the port 22. SSH is the most important tool for connecting to our machine, as it allows us to take control remotely and execute commands, all while having a secure connection. We connect through SSH from our PC and we contact our machine by using the internet. Today we'll see how to configure PowerShell and the command line to connect to our AC2 machine. On the latest version of Windows, in the command line, we can test the SSH command. We then get a return which indicates the command actually exists. In the same way, we can test the same SSH command in the CMD. And we do actually get a return. The correct functioning of this command guarantees us that the SSH is installed on our machine. If you ever find that this command does not exist on your computer, then I invite you to look at the procedure for using SSH with PuTTY. So to connect, we'll take the parameters of this command line and type in SSH-I. -I will tell us the path to our certificate. My file is here. I right click on it. I select property and copy the path of the file. Using the tabulation, select my certificate in PM format. Now that we have our certificate, we will indicate to our command line the IP address of our server as well as the user to connect to. To do this, we'll go back to our instance and we'll copy the IP address in the clipboard. For this type of instance, the default user is the AC2 one. So we'll go back to our command line and type in AC2 user at the IP address of our server. We press enter and we can connect. Windows asks us if we want to continue this connection since it is the first one. I simply type yes, and as you can see, a message appears telling us that our key is not protected and therefore we can't continue the connection. If you have watched the video on the installation of SSH with Linux or Mac, for recall, we use the command chmod to modify the rights of our key so that it is accepted during the connection. It is the same system, however, this time under Windows we'll manage the problem differently. Although we cannot launch this command, we will try the chmod. The chmod does not exist on the system, so we'll go through the file system. That way we'll be able to modify the properties of our file so that it complies with the standard in terms of security. We will go to security, then to my account. There are indeed some rights protecting our file. We'll modify those by clicking here on ownership of the fill. If you are not the owner, you need to do the following commands. First, appropriate it, check it, and finally validate it. Now we are going to delete the other users, the administrators. As you see, those users can't be deleted because they are rights that are inherited from the system. We'll disable the inheritance and convert the inherited permissions to explicit permissions. So once this is done, we'll be able to delete the administrators, the system, the authenticated user, and all the users of my machine. I check the properties in terms of security. I am the only user who has the right to this file. We'll then modify the permission on the file to have total control. Once done, we'll be able to test our SSH connection again. We write the command, and this time we are connected to our machine on Amazon Web Service using SSH on Windows 10, thanks to PowerShell. Let's test it again with AC2. We type in the command and it works correctly. So today we have seen how to connect to our AC2 machine from Windows with the command line and with PowerShell.